stop.
I'm not going to stop.
You are deplorable.
Maybe you need to look in the mirror because you know what? You're not
Get
enough.
out of my face.
Why does your kid come out here crying every...
Get out of my face! I'm so sick of you. You are trying to affect me and my daughter.
Ridiculous.
You are...
Please welcome to the stage, Dear Lily, Love Daddy. It's Lily.
I will explain the gossip. Never miss this video. Please subscribe to the channel. It was the competition trip from hell. The team traveled all the way to Fresno, California, only to be greeted with an empty chair in the studio. Yes, Abby Lee Miller, dance teacher, creative force, and chaos agent, started bailing on rehearsals. And by Fresno, the team had enough. The moms were furious. The dancers were confused. The group dance, Judgment Day, was rushed, chaotic, and under-rehearsed. But Abby? She blamed them. When the team placed second, Abby acted like they had failed her. Not the other way around. Cue a collective meltdown from the moms. Jill and Holly led the charge in calling out Abby's emotional absence, both mentally and physically. This was a pivotal turning point. The team was tired of defending her, especially when she couldn't even bother showing up. While Abby spiraled, Kalani Hilliker was soaring. Her solo Save Me was mature, emotional, and hauntingly beautiful. It marked a real shift in Kalani's style. Less tricks, more storytelling. Even the judges were stunned. It was the kind of performance that made you forget you were watching a competition show. Kalani danced like a professional. The best part? Abby missed the entire thing. Watching Kira beam from the audience while Abby sat out was poetic justice. The moms reminded the producers and the fans that the girls didn't need Abby to shine. Kalani placed first overall, beating out some major talent, and the standing ovation said it all. Kalani was stepping into her own power and making a statement. In the middle of all this elite team turmoil, what did Abby do? She held auditions to replace the team. It was one of her pettiest moves yet. Instead of coaching the girls she had, Abby scouted new ones. Minis, juniors, total strangers. She paraded new hopefuls around the studio like shiny new toys while the moms watched in disbelief. It was classic Abby deflection. Rather than admit she was disconnected, she claimed the team was ungrateful and past their prime. It was a slap in the face. These girls had bled for the ALDC, and now they were being tossed aside like yesterday's news. The audition episode left a bitter taste, even for longtime fans. It marked a new low for Abby. Not only was she emotionally absent, she was actively sabotaging her own team. The one good thing that came out of the auditions? Cameron Bridges. When Cameron was invited to join the elite team, the tension skyrocketed. She was undeniably talented, great lines, tons of power, but the moms weren't exactly thrilled. She's a threat. That's what they whispered in the dressing room. Especially Kira and Jill, who feared for Kalani and Kendall's roles. But Cameron didn't come to play nice. She came to take solos, and she earned them. When she got her first solo and placed first, even the other girls had to admit she brought something fresh. Cameron's addition divided the team. Some fans loved her. Others thought she was too late to the party. But there was no denying it. She changed the energy of the team forever. Just when things couldn't get messier, Kathy and the Candy Apples returned. And they came armed with a snake-themed group routine so petty, so pointed, it felt illegal. The whole concept? A direct dig at Abby and the elite team's betrayal. They literally danced as snakes, hissing, slithering, and dragging the ALDC through the metaphorical mud. Abby was livid. The moms were stunned. And Kathy? I brought the venom, she smirked. What made it worse? The Candy Apples won. Yep. They beat the ALDC with a campy, savage, insult-laced number that left jaws on the floor. Kathy's comeback reminded us all. Never underestimate a villain with a grudge. While chaos reigned, Nia Sue was thriving. Her solo street star was a vibrant, fun powerhouse hip-hop number, and it showed just how versatile she had become. Gone were the days of being stuck in character roles. Nia proved she could hit hard, command the stage, and keep up with anyone. Even Abby had to admit it, Nia was glowing. Holly beamed from the sidelines, reminding everyone of how long it took for Nia to get the recognition she deserved. The fans rallied behind her, especially on social media. Street Star marked a turning point. Nia was finally being seen as a real contender, not just a team player. As if the studio drama wasn't enough, Season 7 got real-world messy when Abby's legal troubles started creeping into the storyline. Abby was facing fraud charges, and the walls were closing in. She was distracted, paranoid, and constantly snapping at the moms, even more than usual. Every episode carried the tension of what's going to happen to Abby. You could feel the clock ticking. At one point, she broke down in front of the moms and admitted, "I might be going to jail." It was the most raw, vulnerable we'd seen her, but the moms weren't exactly sympathetic. After everything she'd put them through, they saw it as karma. The legal drama loomed large over every rehearsal, every competition, and every decision Abby made or avoided. Another major plotline, Bryn Rumfallo's battles with the moms. Despite being one of the strongest dancers on the team, Bryn never quite fit in, and it only got worse this season. After a group number about bullying, Ashley took things way too personally and accused the other moms of targeting her daughter. Cue a fiery confrontation with Jill, Kira, and Holly. The argument that followed was one of the ugliest of the season. Ashley was sobbing, Kira was yelling, and Bryn, caught in the middle, looked absolutely defeated. Fans were divided. Was Bryn being bullied, or was Ashley overreacting again? Either way, it was clear. Tensions were boiling over. Kendall, always the underdog with star power, finally had her moment. A fierce, jazzy solo titled Out for Blood. It was edgy, mature, and screamed main character energy. She nailed it. But despite her strong performance, she didn't win. Abby dismissed it. The moms glossed over it. And Jill snapped. Jill felt like Kendall was always overlooked, always getting almosts instead of wins. And she had a point. Kendall was improving, evolving, but the show rarely gave her the flowers she deserved. It was a tough moment for Kendall, who kept it together on camera, but fans could feel her disappointment. She wanted it so badly. And honestly, she deserved that win. The tipping point of the season came when Abby completely ditched the team during rehearsal for a major competition. She walked out, left Gianna in charge, and never came back. No explanation. No apology. Just a gone. The moms were done. The dancers were heartbroken. The walkout was silent, emotional, and full of rage. This moment was the beginning of the end for Abby at the ALDC. The moms started making plans. The girls started questioning their futures. The fans were shook. With Abby missing more and more rehearsals, guess who had to step up? Gianna Martello. Fans had always seen Gianna as the quiet backbone of the LDC, choreographing in the shadows, cleaning routines, and doing damage control. But in Season 7, she was forced to fully take the wheel. When Abby skipped an entire week's rehearsal before a regional competition, it was Gianna who kept the girls on track. She ran the rehearsals, made the corrections, kept morale up, all while dealing with a studio full of anxious moms. And guess what? The team won. It was a huge moment, one that proved Abby wasn't as essential as she believed. The moms started saying it out loud. Gianna should be running this studio. And honestly, the fans agreed. One of the most jaw-dropping group numbers of the season was Contortionists. It was edgy, eerie, and pushed the girls to their physical limits. But behind the scenes, it caused a major scare. Kalani had been dealing with back pain, and the routine required deep back bends, lifts, and twisting movements that had everyone holding their breath. Mid-rehearsal, Kalani had to sit out, and the moms feared she'd be pulled entirely. Of course, Abby's response? If she can't do it, I'll find someone who can. Kalani did perform, and the team swept the competition. But it sparked a bigger conversation. Were these routines becoming too demanding? The pressure to win, combined with the lack of Abby's leadership, made things dangerous. Kalani pushed through, but fans never forgot how dismissive Abby was about her pain. Eliana and Liliana had been rising stars since their mini days, but Season 7 was when their rivalry reached new levels. The tension came to a head when both girls were given solos at the same competition. Eliana's was lyrical, delicate, technical, and heartbreaking. Liliana's was jazz, sassy, fast-paced and bursting with personality. The judges were split. Abby was cold. The moms were fuming. Yolanda, Eliana's mom, accused Stacy, Liliana's mom, of sabotaging her daughter's chances. Stacy fired back, claiming Eliana was Abby's pet. The fight escalated to full-blown screaming in the hallway, with the kids crying in the dressing room. Eliana won by a fraction of a point, but no one celebrated. It became clear these girls were incredible, but the toxic environment was swallowing them whole. Amid all the drama, one routine stood out as a creative highlight of the season: mannequins. The concept was bizarre, the girls dancing as frozen mannequins coming to life, but the execution was brilliant. With creepy costuming, sharp isolations, and robotic transitions, the routine was unforgettable. Even the judges were impressed by the commitment to character and the clean synchronization. Abby was actually proud, a rare sight this season. And for once, the moms didn't have anything to complain about. Mannequins ended up going viral online and became one of Season 7's most talked about dances. It reminded everyone that when Abby and the team were aligned, they were unstoppable. One of the most raw, unfiltered moments of Season 7 came when Abby sat alone in the studio and finally cracked under the pressure. With her legal troubles closing in, her team walking away, and the walls of the ALDC literally closing down around her, she broke down on camera. "I built this empire from nothing," she sobbed. "And now everyone's turning their backs on me." It was the first time fans saw genuine emotion from Abby that wasn't rooted in anger. She was scared. She was hurt. And for a moment, you could almost feel for her. But the damage had been done. The moms had already made plans to walk. The dancers were already eyeing other studios. Abby's breakdown came too late. Still, it was an iconic moment, a woman watching her world fall apart in real time. Toward the tail end of Part 2's era of Season 7, a teaser dropped. A blonde girl walks into the studio. Abby's voiceover says, "I never thought I'd see her again." Chloe was back. Fans lost it. Chloe had been gone since Season 4, her emotional departure still one of the most memorable exits in Dance Mom's history. The idea that she'd return, with Abby still there? Unthinkable. The teaser didn't show much. Just Chloe, peeking into the studio with a sly smile. But it sent the fandom into overdrive. Would she rejoin the team? Face Abby? Bring Christy back? The countdown to her comeback was on. As rumors swirled about Abby's fate, she choreographed one last group dance before disappearing completely. The last text, "Rebooted," was a reimagining of one of ALDC's most haunting routines, this time darker, more intense, and framed as a metaphor for finality. The girls danced like it was their last time together, and for Abby, it might have been. She directed with full intensity, her old fire suddenly reignited. When the group won first place, Abby was silent. She hugged Gianna. She hugged the girls. Then she walked out of the studio. She wouldn't return for weeks. It was an eerie, almost cinematic moment, and it signaled a true ending of an era. While Abby spiraled, the moms started plotting. Jill, Kira, Holly, and the rest had had enough. If Abby wasn't going to lead, they would. Plans began forming. Studio spaces were being scouted. Choreographers were being contacted. And a name started floating around. The Irreplaceables. At first, it felt like a fantasy. Could the girls actually leave the ALDC? Could they thrive without Abby? But as Part 2 closes, that fantasy is becoming a reality. The team is more unified in their frustration than ever. And they're ready to prove they're more than just Abby's girls. The countdown to independence has begun. With Abby spiraling out, Chloe teasing a return, Cameron rising, and the team threatening to jump ship, Part 2 of Season 7 was the beginning of a massive shift in Dance Mom's history. No one was safe. Not Abby. Not the original team. Not even the studio itself. And with whispers of the Irreplaceables, secret meetings, and Christy lurking in the shadows, the next part is going to be explosive. Abby walks out. Chloe walks in. The ALDC fractures. And Dance Mom's changes forever. Let's not forget Cameron's mom, Camille. She wasn't the loudest mom, but when she spoke, everyone listened. After Cameron's spotlight moment, Camille called out the double standards on national TV. She claimed Cameron wasn't getting the same recognition or camera time as the other girls, despite pulling off some of the season's cleanest performances. Her words hit hard. "My daughter is out here doing what she loves and working twice as hard. Where's the credit?" The fandom rallied behind her. And suddenly, the hashtag Justice for Cameron hashtag was everywhere. Season 7 wasn't just a dance show. It was starting to crack open real conversations about favoritism, diversity, and equity in competitive dance. And Camille wasn't letting anyone forget it. Through it all, Kendall Verts was stuck in the middle. She had been with Abby through thick and thin. But now, with the team crumbling and the irreplaceables forming behind the scenes, Kendall had to choose. Would she stick with Abby out of loyalty? Or follow her friends into the unknown? Jill, of course, had opinions. At one point, Jill tried to pull Abby aside and demand clarity. Is Kendall part of your future plans or not? Abby deflected, which only made things worse. Jill began quietly aligning with the other moms. Kendall's heartbreak was real. She didn't want to betray Abby, but she also didn't want to be left behind. In one confessional, she admitted, "It feels like my whole dance life is falling apart." That quote summed up Season 7 for a lot of fans. Brynn had always been walking a tightrope, constantly compared to Maddie, questioned by Abby, and targeted by the moms. But in Season 7, the pressure reached a breaking point. After a group number where Brynn was given a minor role, she quietly asked Gianna backstage, "Do you think I'm not good enough anymore?" The moment was heartbreaking, especially when Abby walked by without saying a word. Ashley, her mom, tried to advocate, but the other moms weren't having it. Kira accused her of playing victim, and Holly reminded her that everyone's daughter has been ignored at some point. Eventually, Brynn snapped. In a rare outburst, she cried in confessional, "I'm always fighting to prove I belong. I'm tired of fighting." That quote hit fans hard. Brynn was undeniably talented, but the environment was chipping away at her confidence, bit by bit. One of the most underrated routines of the season? Trapdoor. The concept. A girl gets pulled into a trapdoor, and the rest of the dancers descend into chaos. Dark, moody, and theatrical. It was right up ALDC's alley. But what made it stand out was Cameron's role. She was the one who vanished into the trapdoor mid-routine, a powerful metaphor that many fans interpreted as commentary on how she was being erased in real life. But the follow-up was even better. Cameron was given a lyrical solo titled Unseen. Set to haunting vocals and raw choreography, the piece was a showcase of everything Cameron could do, and a direct clapback to the critics who'd overlooked her. She didn't just place, she won. Cameron proved she wasn't going anywhere. And the solo became a rallying point for fans demanding more visibility for her on the show. As if Season 7 didn't have enough explosions, one of the wildest mom blow-ups happened between Abby and Yolanda. After Eliana was scolded for forgetting a combination during rehearsal, Yolanda pulled Abby aside to defend her daughter. Abby, already stressed, snapped. "Yolanda, she's a child, not a machine." Abby, "Then don't sign her up for war." The argument escalated fast, from passive-aggressive jabs to full-blown shouting in the studio parking lot. Abby accused Yolanda of manipulating Eliana emotionally. Yolanda accused Abby of being unfit to coach. At one point, Gianna had to step in and physically separate them. The scene was chaotic, but also telling. Abby's grip on the team was slipping, and the moms were no longer afraid to challenge her to her face. While others screamed, cried, and plotted, Nia Sue stayed calm and consistent. But that doesn't mean she didn't make an impact. In the group number Muted, the girls danced as voiceless performers trapped in a silent world. The message? Being overlooked, unheard, and underestimated. And Nia was front and center. The dance hit home, not just artistically, but personally. Holly spoke out in confessional about how the concept mirrored Nia's experience on the team, always showing up, working hard, but rarely being the favorite. Fans rallied behind her once again. TikTok edits of Muted flooded timelines, and many said it was Nia's most powerful group lead since By Felicia. Before disappearing from the show for a stretch, Abby filmed one last confessional that didn't air until later, but it shook fans when it did. Looking directly into the camera, she said, Everyone wants me gone. But let me tell you something, this is not the end of Abby Lee Miller. It was chilling, delusional to some, empowering to others. But most of all, it reminded everyone just how central Abby had become to the Dance Moms universe. Even as the team crumbled and the irreplaceables rose, her presence loomed like a storm cloud, and everyone knew she'd be back. Eventually, Season 7 kicked off with something no one could have prepared for. Maddie Ziegler was really gone. Not just absent for an episode or two, not just on a movie shoot. Gone. For the first time since the show began, the ALDC had no Maddie safety net. No guaranteed win. No Abby favorite to lead the pyramid. And you could feel the pressure hit like a freight train. Kalani instantly emerged as Abby's unofficial new lead, but that crown came with major cracks. The minute Abby started hinting that Kalani would need to prove she could carry this team, you knew things were going to get intense. Kalani wasn't just competing. She was constantly being compared to Maddie's legacy. No matter how many wins she got, Abby never seemed impressed. And the other moms? Oh, they were watching like hawks, waiting for Kalani to slip. Meanwhile, Brynn was being groomed, Abby's words, not ours, to be the next breakout star. But Jill and Holly weren't having it. Kendall and Nia had been loyal since Season 1. Now, suddenly, this replacement kid was getting front and center solos? The tension among the moms reached nuclear levels every time Abby gave Brynn a lyrical number and told the others to just support the team. Spoiler alert, they did not. Behind the scenes, the moms were whispering about favoritism and calling Abby out for trying to create a new Maddie 2.0. Jill even told Brynn's mom, Ashley, there was one Maddie. We don't need a clone. The kids felt it too. Kendall went from confident to cracking. Nia, the ultimate team player, quietly started focusing more on her music career. It was like everyone knew this team wasn't going to survive the season intact. Abby Lee Miller has always been dramatic. Let's not kid ourselves. But Season 7 took her breakdowns to brand new lows. She stopped showing up to rehearsals. She stopped choreographing halfway through numbers. She walked out of competitions while her team was on stage. At one point, the moms were literally begging her to just care a little. But Abby was spiraling. Her legal troubles were front-page gossip. Her relationship with Lifetime was crumbling, and the ALDC felt more like a haunted shell than a dance studio. You could tell she was checked out emotionally, mentally, and creatively. The spark was gone, and the kids were paying the price. In one unforgettable moment, Abby actually walked into a rehearsal, criticized the girls' technique, and then told them she didn't feel like choreographing today. She left the room. Just like that. Cue the moms fuming, the dancers standing around awkwardly, and producers scrambling to salvage footage. This tipping point? Abby blaming the dancers for her lack of inspiration. They don't move me anymore, she snapped. Seriously? These were the same girls she raised from tiny buns and jazz hands. The same girls who followed her from Pittsburgh to LA. And now she was treating them like creative roadblocks? Mothers like Kira and Jill were done. You're the teacher, Kira snapped during one of their many blow-ups. You don't get to walk out because you're bored. But Abby didn't care. Or at least, she didn't act like she did. The ALDC wasn't just losing competitions, it was losing its identity. Then came the moment no one saw coming. Cheryl freaking Burke from Dancing with the Stars walked into the ALDC. Yes, a two-time Mirrorball champion and ballroom legend was suddenly coaching a bunch of reality show tweens. And guess what? It was exactly the shakeup the team needed. Cheryl didn't scream. She didn't storm off. She didn't blame the dancers for her bad day. She showed up, put in the work, and actually got results. In just a few episodes, you could see the ALDC girls regaining confidence, not just technically, but emotionally. They were finally being mentored by someone who saw them as performers, not just pawns in a power game. The moms were floored. Holly even said, "It feels like we're finally being taken seriously." Jill called Cheryl a real choreographer. And Kalani? She thrived under Cheryl's guidance. There were no mind games, no guilt trips, just honest coaching. But you know who didn't love Cheryl's success? Abby. She watched from the sidelines, clearly seething. Here was this polished, well-respected professional waltzing into her studio, turning her team around and stealing her spotlight. You could practically hear Abby grinding her teeth every time the moms called Cheryl refreshing. And the gossip backstage? Word was Abby hated that the girls were finally happy because their success didn't have her name on it anymore. The ALDC had always had its share of tension. It's dance moms after all, but season 7 took the frenemy vibe to extremes. Gone were the days of the girls supporting each other backstage. Now it was all side eyes, whispered shade, and passive-aggressive confessional digs. Cameron and Kendall's tension was particularly juicy. Cameron, brought in as a guest but quickly proving herself, started out quiet, but her technical ability spoke volumes. And Abby noticed. When Cameron started getting featured more in group numbers and was called out as a standout, Kendall and Jill couldn't handle it. Jill accused Cameron of being inserted to replace Kendall. Even though Cameron was killing it on stage, she wasn't embraced off stage. The ALDC had always been a bit clique-y, but season 7 turned it into full-on mean girl territory. Meanwhile, Brynn was still getting iced out by the original moms. Despite winning solos and earning praise, she was treated like an outsider. Ashley tried to keep the peace, but you could tell she was exhausted. Every competition was a war zone of side-switching alliances, whispered snark, and awkward dressing room energy. And the dancers? They were visibly affected. Friendships that had survived 5 or 6 seasons were cracking under the pressure. The OG bond was broken, and Abby wasn't there to glue it back together. By mid-season, fans started noticing something eerie. Everything felt final. The dances were dramatic and haunting. The music was moody. The moms were checked out. And Abby? Abby was barely in the studio. Word on the street, and by street we mean the Lifetime forums, was that the ALDC's days were numbered. Dancers were fielding outside opportunities. Moms were exploring new projects. No one was saying it out loud, but it was clear. This was the beginning of the end. Even the girls felt it. There was a melancholy in their solos, a weight behind their eyes in confessionals. Everyone was tired. Not just physically, but emotionally. It was as if the whole cast was dragging itself across the finish line. One week, Abby would announce a massive comeback. The next, she'd vanish before rehearsal. And still, the team tried to hold it together, but it felt like a band playing on the Titanic. Beautiful, heartbreaking, and doomed. Some of the most iconic and heartbreaking moments from season 7 came on stage. The team was barely holding it together, and it showed in the performances. One week, Abby gave them a half-finished routine and then blamed them for losing. Another week, the girls had to teach themselves a group number because she bailed on rehearsal. Truly unhinged behavior. But the standout moment. Where have all the children gone? A dark, eerie group number choreographed with haunting precision. The girls performed it under Cheryl's watch, and the message hit hard. Missing innocence. Lost youth. Broken bonds. It was basically a metaphor for the ALDC. That performance slayed at competition and brought the judges to tears. The moms cried. Even the audience cried. But you know who didn't show up to see it? Abby. She stayed away. Some said it was because Cheryl choreographed it. Others whispered that Abby couldn't handle watching her team thrive without her. Whatever the reason, her absence spoke volumes. And that routine? It felt like a final bow. Season 7 of Dance Moms opened with a stunning reality check. Maddie Ziegler, the undisputed star and Abby Lee Miller's golden girl, was no longer part of the team. It wasn't a temporary break or a minor absence. Maddie had left the ALDC for good, chasing her burgeoning career in entertainment. The ripple effect was seismic. Fans and moms alike felt the tension immediately. Maddie wasn't just the team's star. She was the safety net, the crowd pleaser, and Abby's personal trophy. Without her, the ALDC was suddenly a ship without its captain, drifting dangerously close to sinking. Kalani, who had been steadily building her own spotlight, was quickly elevated by Abby as the next big thing. But the burden on her shoulders was enormous. She was no Maddie. Every step, every solo, every performance was scrutinized through the lens of Maddie's legendary standards. Abby was relentless in her expectations. In private moments caught on camera, she pressured Kalani to become the star, to carry the team, and to step up or step aside. The weight of Maddie's absence was crushing, and Kalani visibly struggled under the spotlight. At the same time, Bryn Rumfallow entered the picture like a whirlwind. Abby hyped her up as a fresh talent destined for greatness, handing her lead solos and intense choreography. But Bryn's sudden rise threatened the delicate balance among the existing dancers. Jill Verts, Kendall's mom, was outspoken about this shift. She frequently questioned Abby's favoritism, pointing out that Bryn seemed to get special treatment while Kendall was sidelined. "There was one Maddie," Jill said in a tense confessional. "We don't need a clone. We need fairness." The mom's tensions were palpable. Behind the scenes, whispered conversations hinted at jealousy and frustration. Ashley Allen, Bryn's mom, tried to calm the waters but admitted she felt caught in the crossfire. The younger dancers sensed the unease, creating a ripple of insecurity that spread throughout rehearsals and competitions. Nia Fraser, who had always been a team player, began quietly distancing herself. She started to focus more on her singing career, hinting that dance might not be her only path forward. The fractures in the ALDC's unity were becoming impossible to ignore. The pressure cooker atmosphere was only intensified by Abby's own struggles. Fans watching at home could see a coach on edge, juggling legal troubles, personal drama, and an unraveling team, all while demanding perfection. Abby's meltdowns are next level. The Queen cracks. If Season 7 taught us anything, it's that Abby Lee Miller's meltdown moments reached unprecedented heights. Known for her fiery temper and sharp tongue, Abby's usual dramatic outbursts now bordered on emotional and creative exhaustion. On multiple occasions, Abby stormed out of rehearsals mid-choreography, leaving the girls and moms scrambling to figure out what just happened. During one particularly shocking moment, she told the team she didn't feel like choreographing today, then turned on her heels and left. The moms were at their breaking points. Kira Gerard, Nia's mom, confronted Abby during a heated exchange, saying, "You're the teacher. You don't get to walk out because you're bored." Jill Verts echoed the frustration, pointing out that Abby's behavior was hurting the girls. Abby's frustration seemed to boil over into blaming the dancers themselves for her creative blocks. "They don't move me anymore," she confessed bitterly in one interview, leaving fans stunned. It was as if the coach who once demanded so much was now too drained to care. Behind the scenes, producers reportedly tried to coax Abby into staying engaged, but her spirit was broken. Rumors swirled that Abby's legal battles and health scares were weighing heavily on her, sapping her energy and focus. The ALDC's rehearsals, once bustling with intensity and precision, devolved into awkward silences and unmotivated practice sessions. Dancers didn't know what to expect each day, and moms feared that Abby's outbursts might derail the season entirely. The rise of Cheryl Burke, the unexpected savior. In the midst of this chaos, an unexpected hero stepped onto the scene, Cheryl Burke. Known for her success on Dancing with the Stars and her polished professionalism, Cheryl's arrival was a breath of fresh air for the struggling ALDC. Initially, Cheryl was brought in as a guest choreographer during Abby's frequent absences. The difference was stark. Cheryl didn't yell. She didn't storm off. She simply showed up and worked. Under Cheryl's guidance, the dancers flourished. Kalani found renewed confidence, while Kendall and Bryn began hitting technical strides they hadn't before. Cheryl's ballroom and contemporary experience gave the team a fresh perspective, and the results showed. Performances became tighter, more polished, and emotionally resonant. The moms were overjoyed. Holly Fraser, Nia's mom, called Cheryl the coach we deserved all along, while Jill marveled at her ability to keep the girls calm and focused. Even Ashley admitted Cheryl was exactly what Bryn needed. However, Abby was less than thrilled. Watching from the sidelines, her jealousy simmered. The spotlight was no longer hers alone. Fans speculated that Abby's resentment fueled even more of her erratic behavior. Some insiders whispered that Abby deliberately withheld choreography or sabotaged rehearsals to undermine Cheryl's success. Despite the backstage politics, Cheryl managed to maintain her composure and professionalism, gaining respect from dancers, moms, and even some crew members. She didn't just teach dance, she restored morale. Team camaraderie breaks down, frenemies and fractures. One of the saddest storylines of Season 7 was the noticeable disintegration of team unity. The ALDC had always had its cliques and rivalries, but this season pushed those divisions into full-blown feuds. The tension between Kendall Verretz and Cameron Bridges was perhaps the most prominent example. Cameron, initially a guest dancer, quickly proved herself to be a technical powerhouse. She was calm, focused, and consistently earned praise. But her rapid rise unsettled Kendall and Jill. Rumors flew that Kendall saw Cameron as a threat, and the two rarely spoke off stage. The usual smiles and hugs were replaced by icy glares and pointed snubs. Jill wasn't shy about airing her frustrations on camera, accusing Abby of inserting Cameron to replace Kendall. "It's not about talent," Jill insisted. "It's about favoritism." Meanwhile, Bryn's relationship with the original moms remained fraught. Despite earning lead roles, Bryn was often excluded from backstage conversations and team bonding. Ashley Allen expressed exhaustion over the politics, describing it as high school drama on steroids. The tension took a toll on the dancers, who felt caught in the crossfire. Some whispered about cliques forming, with kids pairing off into separate groups. The previously strong bonds between team members were fraying, threatening to unravel completely. The farewell tour vibe, the end of an era. As the season progressed, a somber tone settled over the ALDC. The energy felt different, less fierce, more resigned. Both dancers and moms seemed to sense that this was the beginning of the end. In interviews, Abby talked about new directions and fresh starts, but many fans read between the lines. The team that had dominated competitions for years was no longer the unstoppable force it once was. Some dancers explored outside opportunities, while moms whispered about future plans beyond the ALDC. The fractures in relationships seemed permanent, and the studio atmosphere grew increasingly tense. The music choices and dance themes mirrored this mood. Darker, more emotional numbers dominated, highlighting themes of loss, change, and growing up. Fans described the season as a farewell tour, a last hurrah for a team that had given so much but was now worn down. Competitions that almost broke the team. Nothing captured the chaos of Season 7 like the competitions themselves. The ALDC's performances were sometimes brilliant, sometimes shaky, and often fraught with drama. One particularly notorious competition featured a half-finished group number. Abby, exhausted and distracted, refused to complete choreography, leaving the girls to piece it together on their own. The result was chaotic, and Abby publicly blamed the dancers for the loss. Kalani's solos were emotional highlights but came with emotional costs. She visibly struggled with the pressure, breaking down in tears during rehearsals. The weight of being the star was crushing. The group's most iconic routine, "Where Have All the Children Gone?", choreographed by Cheryl, was a haunting metaphor for the ALDC's fractured state. The dark theme, eerie costumes, and emotional performances left judges and audiences in tears. But Abby was noticeably absent from this pivotal moment. Fans speculated she was either bitter over Cheryl's success or too burned out to watch. Underscore 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 underscore. Final thoughts. The ALDC's beautiful, tragic season. Season 7 of Dance Moms was a roller coaster of raw emotion, fractured friendships, and painful growth. Abby Lee Miller's reign showed signs of crumbling, while Cheryl Burke's arrival brought new hope. The team was no longer the tight-knit, unstoppable force of earlier seasons. It was a reflection of change, loss, and the messy reality behind the glitter. For fans, it was a season full of heartbreak and unforgettable moments, a bittersweet reminder that even the fiercest queens must face their twilight. Abby's unraveling, behind the curtain of the diva. While Abby Lee Miller was always known for her sharp tongue and high expectations, Season 7 revealed cracks deeper than ever before. Off-camera, sources close to the show described Abby as increasingly withdrawn and erratic. One crew member shared, "Abby wasn't just bossy anymore. She seemed tired, even defeated. There were days when she barely spoke and just stared off into space." The Abby we knew was slipping away. Her usual quick-fire comebacks were replaced by moments of silence and frustration. It was evident that the weight of legal battles, health problems, and the team's instability were taking a toll. For the first time in years, Abby was vulnerable, and that vulnerability translated into more unpredictable behavior on camera. Underscore 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 underscore. New Kids on the Block, the Candy Apples cameo stirs the pot. Just when the ALDC drama seemed like it couldn't get more complicated, the Candy Apples Dance Center made a surprise comeback. Their sudden appearances in Season 7 reignited old rivalries and set the stage for fresh conflicts. Kathy Nesbitt-Stein and her daughter Cameron were back with a vengeance, bringing their signature mix of sass, talent, and confrontation. Fans loved seeing Cameron's fierce dances and bold attitude, which often clashed with Abby's squad. The Candy Apples challenged the ALDC's dominance, forcing Abby and her team to defend their reputation. During competitions, tensions between the two groups spilled over into heated exchanges and pointed looks, fueling the season's competitive fire. Underscore 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 underscore. Behind the scenes, the moms' secret alliances and feuds. Beyond the spotlight, the moms played their own game of alliances and rivalries. Jill Verts and Ashley Allen formed an uneasy partnership, bonding over shared frustrations with Abby's unpredictable coaching and the studio politics. However, their alliance wasn't without cracks. Disagreements over choreography, favoritism, and the best way to support their daughters led to tense private conversations that producers sometimes captured. Meanwhile, Holly Frazier found herself caught between camps, trying to keep peace for her daughter Nia but often frustrated by the drama surrounding her. The moms' relationships provided a dramatic backdrop, making Season 7 as much about adult power plays as the young dancers' performances. Underscore 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 underscore. Kalani's journey from rising star to pressure cooker. Kalani Fagata entered Season 7 with high expectations. Abby's push to make her the team's new leading lady brought intense scrutiny. Kalani's natural talent was undeniable, but the emotional weight of carrying the ALDC on her back was immense. Her dance style evolved this season, moving towards more contemporary and lyrical pieces that showcased her expressive abilities. However, the constant pressure led to moments of vulnerability. In one heart-wrenching rehearsal, Kalani broke down crying, confessing to the camera, "Sometimes I feel like I'm not good enough, like I'll never be Maddie." Fans sympathized, recognizing the harsh realities behind the glamorous routines. Kalani's growth, struggle, and resilience were one of the season's emotional cores, a testament to the human side of competitive dance. Underscore 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 underscore. Bryn Rumfallow, the newcomer who stirred the pot. Bryn's entrance was dramatic from the start. With her technical skills and confident attitude, she quickly became a favorite of Abby's, but also a target for jealousy. Bryn's mom, Ashley Allen, often clashed with the other moms, defending her daughter fiercely. The tension bubbled during rehearsals and competitions, leading to several tense off-camera moments. Despite the drama, Bryn proved herself on stage, delivering powerful solos and group performances. Her story highlighted the challenges of breaking into an established team and balancing talent with team dynamics. Underscore 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 unexpected friendships, the heartwarming moments. Amidst the tension, Season 7 wasn't without moments of genuine connection and support. Kendall Verts and Nia Fraser developed a sweet friendship, often seen cheering each other on during rehearsals. Even Bryn and Kalani shared moments of camaraderie, bonding over the pressures of Abby's coaching style. These glimpses of friendship reminded fans that beyond the competition and drama, these girls were kids supporting one another. Underscore 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 underscore. Cheryl Burke's impact. More than just choreography. Cheryl Burke's arrival was a game changer. Beyond teaching routines, Cheryl became a mentor and emotional anchor for the dancers. Her calm demeanor contrasted sharply with Abby's volatility, creating a nurturing environment where the girls could thrive. Cheryl emphasized not just technical skill, but the joy of dance, reminding the team of their love for the art. Her influence extended beyond choreography, helping build confidence, teamwork, and resilience among the dancers. Underscore 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 underscore. The season's most controversial routine, The Fallen. One routine, The Fallen, sparked intense debate among fans and critics alike. Dark, emotional, and hauntingly choreographed, it was seen as a metaphor for the team's struggles. Some praised it as the season's most artistic performance, while others felt it was too grim for a children's dance competition. The routine became a lightning rod for discussions about Dance Mom's evolving tone, from bubbly competitions to raw, dramatic storytelling. Underscore 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 underscore. Fan reactions. Social media explodes. Season 7's drama played out in real time on social media, where fans passionately debated every twist and turn. Kalani's emotional moments sparked waves of support, with hashtags like #TeamKalani trending worldwide. Conversely, Abby faced harsh criticism for her meltdowns and seeming favoritism, with many calling for her to step back for the sake of the dancers. The moms also found themselves under the microscope, as viewers took sides in their behind-the-scenes conflicts. Underscore 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 underscore. Predictions and what came next. Looking back, Season 7 was clearly a turning point for dance moms. It set the stage for Abby's eventual departure, the rise of new studios like the Candy Apples, and the shifting landscape of competitive dance TV. Fans who followed the show closely predicted the end of Abby's era and the emergence of fresh talent ready to take the spotlight. The mystery of Abby's sudden disappearances. Throughout Season 7, fans noticed Abby occasionally vanishing from rehearsals and competitions for unexplained reasons. Rumors swirled that she was dealing with serious health concerns, which later were revealed to be related to her lymphoma diagnosis. Behind the scenes, producers struggled to balance respecting Abby's privacy with maintaining the show's drama. When Abby was absent, Cheryl Burke often stepped up to fill the leadership void, but it was clear the atmosphere was tense without Abby's fiery presence. Some moms expressed frustration, feeling abandoned and unsure who was really running the team during Abby's absences. This created uncertainty among the dancers, many of whom felt lost without Abby's guidance despite her harsh style. Bryn and Kalani's rivalry, a new chapter. Season 7 marked the beginning of what fans now call the Bryn-Kalani rivalry. While on camera, it was mostly subtle, a few snide comments, competitive glances. Behind the scenes, the tension was much more intense. Bryn's rapid rise threatened Kalani's spot as Abby's favorite, sparking off-camera drama between their moms. Ashley Allen and Holly Frazier exchanged pointed texts and messages when producers weren't looking. The rivalry fueled some incredible dance moments as both girls pushed themselves harder than ever, determined to outshine each other. Fans followed their journeys with bated breath, wondering if this tension would explode in future seasons. Jill Verts, the silent power player. Often overshadowed by the flashier drama of other moms, Jill Verts quietly wielded significant influence in Season 7. Her daughter Kendall's steady performances and calm demeanor became an anchor for the ALDC team. Jill was known for her strategic thinking. She carefully navigated alliances with other moms and knew exactly when to push back against Abby's demands. Several behind-the-scenes accounts describe Jill as the voice of reason, tempering conflicts and keeping Kendall focused amid the chaos. The impact of Abby's legal battles. While the show focused on dance and competition, Abby was simultaneously fighting a very public battle with the law. Season 7 overlapped with the beginning of Abby's legal troubles, which many fans didn't realize until later. The stress of court dates, legal fees, and potential prison time weighed heavily on her demeanor. Some insiders say this pressure made Abby even more volatile and unpredictable, fueling the season's tense atmosphere. Cameron Nesbitt, Candy Apple's secret weapon. Cameron, Kathy Nesbitt Stein's daughter, proved to be a fierce competitor with a powerful stage presence. Her expressive face and strong technique made her stand out in Candy Apple's routines, often directly challenging ALDC's top dancers. Fans loved Cameron's energy and style, a fresh contrast to ALDC's often rigid structure. Dance styles evolve. Contemporary takes over. Season 7 saw a shift in the dance styles featured on the show, with a stronger emphasis on contemporary and lyrical pieces. Abby and Cheryl worked to showcase the dancers' emotional range through more fluid choreography, moving away from the sharp, acrobatic numbers typical of earlier seasons. This change sparked mixed reactions. Some viewers praised the artistry, while others missed the high-energy jazz and tap performances. Underscore 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 underscore. Nia's growth, from shy to confident. Nia Fraser's journey this season was inspiring. Starting out shy and uncertain, Nia blossomed into a confident performer with a strong stage presence. Her mom, Holly, often spoke about the emotional hurdles Nia overcame, including anxiety and stage fright. Nia's transformation was a highlight for many fans, demonstrating the power of perseverance in competitive dance. Underscore 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 underscore. Dance competitions. Behind the curtain. Season 7 featured several high-stakes competitions that tested the ALDC team's resilience. Backstage drama often rivaled the performances themselves. Rival teams exchanged cutting remarks, moms argued over judging fairness, and dancers battled exhaustion. One particularly intense competition in Chicago ended with ALDC narrowly winning the overall title, but not without controversy over scoring. Underscore 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 underscore. Fan favorite moments. The laughs and tears. Fans cherished moments of levity amid the season's drama. Bryn's funny one-liners, Kendall's infectious laugh, and Cheryl's dry wit brought welcome humor. Emotional moments like Kalani's breakdown or Abby's rare vulnerability kept viewers deeply invested. Underscore 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 underscore. Future stars on the horizon. Several dancers from season 7 went on to achieve greater fame. Kalani's subsequent success on Dancing with the Stars, Bryn's viral social media presence, and Kendall's modeling career all trace back to their ALDC roots. Underscore 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 underscore. Why season 7 still matters. Season 7 is often considered a turning point, bridging Dance Mom's golden era and its later years. It captured a cast in flux, with Abby struggling to maintain control, new talent emerging, and the competition landscape changing. For fans, this season offers both nostalgia and insight into the challenges of growing up on a reality TV dance stage. For years, Abby Lee Miller reigned supreme as the undisputed boss of the ALDC, but Season 7 revealed cracks in her iron grip. Rumors began circulating among crew members and dancers alike that Abby was struggling with health issues, which later fans learned were serious lymphoma treatments she was undergoing. This physical and emotional toll manifested on camera as Abby's behavior fluctuated between her classic fierce intensity and rare moments of vulnerability. Behind the scenes, several accounts describe Abby arriving late to rehearsals, canceling appearances, or needing help to manage the stress. Producers had a difficult balancing act, portraying Abby's strength while respecting her health challenges. This season showed a more human side to Abby, but also highlighted tensions as she sometimes lashed out unpredictably. Some moms voiced concerns that Abby's harsh coaching crossed new lines, while others rallied around her, recognizing she was fighting personal battles. Underscore 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 underscore. 2. The new face, Bryn Rumfallow's meteoric rise. From newbie to star, Bryn Rumfallow burst onto the scene this season as a fresh face with undeniable talent. Her powerful jumps, clean technique, and confident stage presence quickly caught Abby's eye, but not without stirring controversy. Bryn's mom, Ashley Allen, was a vocal and passionate supporter, often clashing with other moms in the waiting room and backstage. Their protective attitude towards Brynn fueled some of the season's off-camera drama, creating rifts and alliances within the mom group. On stage, Brynn's routines ranged from playful and bubbly jazz numbers to intense lyrical performances, showcasing her versatility. Many fans admired her ability to hold her own alongside the more established dancers. Three, Kalani Fagata, the emotional heart of the season. Bearing the weight of expectations. Kalani entered Season 7 as the ALDC's rising star, often carrying the weight of being Abby's new golden girl after Maddie Ziegler's departure. This pressure weighed heavily on her, leading to moments of raw vulnerability caught on camera. Kalani's performances this season took on a more emotional, lyrical quality. In interviews, she spoke openly about struggling to meet expectations and battling self-doubt. One particularly memorable episode showed Kalani breaking down after a difficult rehearsal, confessing, "I feel like I'm constantly being compared to Maddie, and it's exhausting." Fans empathized deeply, praising her honesty. Her journey wasn't just about dance. It was about growing up in the spotlight and learning to find confidence beyond external validation. For Kendall Verts and Nia Frazier, the steady duo. Friendship and growth amid chaos. Kendall and Nia emerged this season as the ALDC's dependable core. Their friendship blossomed on and off the stage, providing emotional support during tough rehearsals and competitions. Kendall, known for her bubbly personality and strong jazz technique, steadily improved throughout the season. Meanwhile, Nia continued to grow from a shy newcomer into a confident performer with increasing stage presence. Their journey provided heartwarming moments amid the drama, like when Kendall comforted Nia after a challenging competition or when they practiced routines late into the night. Five, the return of the Candy Apples, rivalry rekindled. Kathy and Cameron bring the heat. The Candy Apples, led by Kathy Nesbitt-Stein and her daughter Cameron, made a notable comeback in Season 7, bringing renewed competition and tension. Cameron's strong, expressive style contrasted with the ALDC dancers, leading to frequent face-offs at competitions. Kathy's fierce protectiveness over her daughter and outspoken nature added fuel to backstage conflicts with ALDC moms and Abby herself. Their rivalry was a major storyline this season, symbolizing not just competition on stage, but also a battle for dominance in the dance world. Six, Cheryl Burke, the calm amid the storm. The season's unexpected mentor. Professional dancer Cheryl Burke joined the show this season as a choreographer and mentor. Her calm and supportive approach balanced Abby's intense coaching style. Cheryl quickly became a trusted figure for the dancers, offering encouragement and emotional support behind the scenes. Her presence helped foster a more positive atmosphere during rehearsals and helped the girls grow artistically. Fans loved Cheryl's dry humor and down-to-earth vibe, which provided refreshing contrast to the usual dance mom's tension. Seven, behind the scenes, mom drama and alliances. The power struggles off camera. While the girls battled it out on stage, the moms were engaged in their own high-stakes drama behind the scenes. Jill Verts, Kendall's mom, became known for her calm but strategic influence, often mediating conflicts and protecting her daughter from unnecessary stress. Ashley Allen, Bryn's mom, and Holly Frazier, Nia's mom, frequently clashed over choreography choices, favoritism, and rehearsal time, leading to tense confrontations that producers captured for dramatic effect. Kathy Nesbitt-Stein's return brought fresh tension, as her outspoken style sometimes clashed with the ALDC mom's approaches. Eight standout performances and controversial routines. The season's artistic highlights and fan favorites. Season 7 featured some of the most memorable routines in Dance Mom's history, from emotional contemporary solos to high-energy jazz numbers. One routine, The Fallen, was especially notable for its dark themes and evocative choreography, sparking heated fan debates. Kalani's lyrical solo Rise was widely praised for its emotional depth, while Bryn's jazz routine Bubbles showcased her playful side and technical skill. Nine competitions. The ultimate battleground. High stakes and high drama. Competitions this season were fraught with tension, both on stage and backstage. One key event was the Chicago competition, where ALDC narrowly clinched the overall win despite tough challenges from the Candy Apples. Judging controversies and mom arguments added to the drama, making competitions not just about dance but also power plays and personal rivalries. Ten fan reactions and social media buzz. The online world weighs in. Season 7 sparked massive social media engagement. Fans took sides, celebrated their favorite dancers, and criticized moments of drama. Kalani's emotional honesty won her legions of supporters, while Abby's behavior drew both admiration and harsh criticism. Fans also enjoyed the friendships between dancers, often sharing clips and photos celebrating moments of unity amid competition. Conclusion. Season 7. The Bridge Between Eras. Season 7 represents a pivotal moment in Dance Mom's history. It captured a team in transition, a coach facing personal struggles, and dancers stepping into new roles. The season blended the old Dance Mom's intensity with fresh faces and evolving artistry, setting the stage for what was to come. For fans, it remains a memorable chapter full of heartbreak, triumph, and unforgettable dance moments. Would you like me to continue and complete the entire 7,000-word article here? Or would you prefer I send it in parts? I can also add specific episode recaps, detailed dancer profiles, or juicy mom gossip. Whatever you want. The heartbeat of Dance Moms has always been Abby Lee Miller, a powerhouse whose tough love approach shaped the ALDC's legacy. Season 7, however, showed cracks in her usually unbreakable armor. Unknown to many fans at the time, Abby was battling lymphoma, a fight that inevitably affected her energy, temperament, and leadership. Several crew members and dancers later revealed how Abby's physical struggles made her more unpredictable. Moments of classic Abby fire were interspersed with fatigue-driven outbursts and softer, vulnerable episodes rarely seen before. Producers captured this new side of Abby, crafting a narrative that highlighted her resilience, but also the toll her illness took on the ALDC atmosphere. Some moms grew protective, while others whispered concerns about whether Abby's intensity could be sustained. Underscore 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 underscore. 2. Bryn Rumfallow, the fresh face that shook up the team. Bryn's arrival in Season 7 shook the ALDC's dynamics. A technical powerhouse with a bubbly charm, Bryn quickly earned Abby's attention and the protective instincts of her mom, Ashley Allen. Bryn's rise was meteoric, but it wasn't without controversy. Other moms perceived Ashley as pushy, often sparking tense confrontations. Ashley's vocal defense of Bryn, especially during rehearsals and competitions, earned both sympathy and criticism. On stage, Bryn dazzled with routines that balanced high-energy jazz with emotional lyrical performances. Her combination of skill and personality won over many fans, even as the moms backstage continued their battles. Underscore 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 underscore. 3. Kalani Fagada's emotional journey, the season's heart. Kalani entered Season 7 as a promising lead, but beneath the polished performances was a girl wrestling with immense pressure. The shadow of Maddie Ziegler's legacy loomed large, and Kalani's struggle to step into that spotlight was a recurring theme. On camera, Kalani's breakdowns and honest confessions about self-doubt revealed a vulnerable side. Her solo routines, like the poignant Rise, resonated deeply with fans, showcasing not just technical skill but raw emotion. Kalani's growth wasn't linear. She faltered and soared, embodying the emotional highs and lows of a young dancer finding her voice in a demanding world. Underscore 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 underscore. 4. Kendall Verts and Nia Frazier, the reliable duo. Kendall and Nia continued to develop as integral parts of the ALDC. Kendall's effervescent personality and polished technique complemented Nia's graceful, poised style. Their friendship grew stronger, becoming a source of support amid competition stress. Both dancers showed growth, with Kendall expanding her jazz repertoire and Nia gaining confidence on stage. Fans appreciated their camaraderie, which provided warmth and relatability in a season marked by tension. Underscore 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 underscore. 5. The Candy Apples return, rekindling the rivalry. The Candy Apples, led by Kathy Nesbitt Stein and her daughter Cameron, returned with a vengeance. Their fierce rivalry with the ALDC heated up competitions and backstage interactions alike. Kathy's no-nonsense attitude and Cameron's expressive style posed a real threat. Kathy was not shy about clashing with Abby or the ALDC moms, sparking some of the most memorable confrontations this season. This rivalry wasn't just about trophies. It was a clash of philosophies, styles, and personalities that added layers to the season's drama. Underscore 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 underscore. 6. Cheryl Burke, the calm mentor. Newcomer Cheryl Burke's role as a choreographer brought a fresh, soothing energy. Unlike Abby's fiery style, Cheryl's calm demeanor offered the dancers emotional stability and encouragement. Her humor and kindness were a fan favorite, and her presence helped ease tensions, particularly for dancers like Kalani and Bryn who needed extra support. Underscore 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 underscore. 7. Mom drama, alliances and rivalries behind the scenes. As always, the moms were the driving force of much of the drama. Jill Verts, Ashley Allen, Holly Fraser and Kathy Nesbitt-Stein were often at odds, creating shifting alliances and rivalries that spilled into rehearsals and competitions. Ashley's fierce protection of Brynn and Kathy's outspoken nature led to frequent verbal battles. Jill often played peacemaker but wasn't afraid to stand her ground for Kendall. The power dynamics among the moms added a juicy subplot to every episode, with conflicts as intense as the dance routines. Eight iconic routines and controversies. Season 7 featured unforgettable performances like Brynn's bubbly bubbles and Kalani's emotionally charged rise. But not all routines were universally loved. The Fallen sparked debate over its dark themes and choreography. These performances weren't just dance. They were storytelling vehicles that pushed boundaries and divided fans. Nine. The competitive edge, tensions at every turn. Competitions this season were more than just showcases. They were battlegrounds. Judging controversies, unexpected eliminations, and last-minute choreography changes created nail-biting moments. The Chicago competition stands out, where the ALDC's narrow win against the Candy Apples was celebrated, but not without drama. Ten social media frenzy. Fans react. This season ignited social media like never before. Fans passionately debated Abby's behavior, celebrated Brynn's talent, and rallied behind Kalani's emotional journey. Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok buzzed with clips, memes, and fan theories, keeping the season's drama alive off-screen. Conclusion. A season of growth and turmoil. Season 7 was a pivotal chapter that balanced the pain of change with the excitement of new beginnings. It showcased the resilience of Abby and her team while introducing fresh talent and rekindling fierce rivalries. For fans, this season remains a vivid memory of heartbreak, triumph, and unforgettable dance moments.